Okay. Ben Shapiro is doing what's known as the fallacy of incredulity, which is basically, I can't imagine that, therefore it's obviously wrong.
Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
All right, chat, let's look at the Ben Shapiro Tyson discussion. This sounds like fun.
The argument is made that trans women are women, for example. And what that seems to mean is that trans women are identical to women. Now, if people want to say trans women are not biological women, obviously that is the case. But people don't seem to want to say that, although that is obviously scientifically true. Trans women are not biological women. Biological women are biological women.
But where are you going with this? What are you trying to accomplish by asking yourself, is it science or is it not science? It's people in society.
But this is a perfect example of an area where suddenly it doesn't matter to say things that are just true. Like, why is it bad or wrong to point out?
I have another way to approach this. I care what is objectively true in the world as a scientist. But let me not say,
hold on.
Even as a scientist, I just simply care what is objectively true. And science happens to be a pretty potent path to invoke, to find out what is true. And so if people express themselves on a gender spectrum, and that is an actual thing in an actual society, if we have not fully explained that scientifically, that's an interesting frontier to study. If you want to say it's only sociological, then it's the purview of the social sciences. I don't care who studies it. It's an interesting fact about society that's worth learning about. To fight someone and say, it's not biological, it's just it's real and it's there.
Tagline at the bottom of the interview, what did it say? Tyson's punch out?
Fight someone and say, it's not biological, it's just it's real and it's there.
The argument that is typically made by gender theorists is that gender is entirely separate from sex. You've seen the argument made that it makes no difference on average if men are stronger than women are, and that if we were to allow transgender women to compete with non-transgender women, then this would somehow not disadvantage biological women. And this seems to me absolutely ascientific, that if we're actually going to have a
Okay. Ben Shapiro is doing what's known as the fallacy of incredulity, which is basically, I can't imagine that, therefore it's obviously wrong. Then he puts a word ascientific in there to pretend like he's making some sort of like actual argument. And there is no argument. There is no argument being presented. It just seems to me that trans women ought to be stronger than cis women, and I say so. Now, do you have any evidence? Have you examined the actual procedures that these different governing bodies have set forth? Do you have any evidence of trans people winning at the most elite level and denying all cis women? And by the way, we're going to expect some trans people to win who did nothing wrong and followed all the rules. Does that mean that they won because of their transness? That's not a safe assumption. Let's see if he actually makes an argument.
discussion about gender and sex, that should be based in data, which suggests that mammals are in fact binary in terms of their sex, unless you have intersex birth defects typically, or genetic defects.
I'm happy to opine on this.
First of all, that's not even true. There are some species where the female is larger and stronger than the male. For example, in the hyena, female hyenas have bigger penises than male hyenas. They have what's known as a pseudopenis. When a hyena male mates with a female hyena, they stick their penis inside the female's penises. Now, I bring this up to you because the idea that there's some sort of female smaller, male big, that's the law of nature, that's just not true. That's true in a lot of species. In some species, the female birds, for example, a female bird will be drab and ugly, and the male bird will have these bright, shiny crests and feathers, and they will do dances. Where it's the male of the species that is pretty and dainty. The plumage, thank you. So these aren't laws of nature. See, he's just making shit up. He's finding things that are examples in nature and fitting them to his argument, as opposed to saying, actually, nature has all sorts of diversity, as does the human species. And because we could see this diversity happening before our very eyes, there are trans people, and they existed in societies all around the world before Judaism or Christianity were even invented. Perhaps human gender is exactly what we say it is, a social construct. Now, sex organs, sexual reproduction, those are things that exist in nature. But there is no social role that is assigned to that. Having a penis doesn't mean that you're a strongman biker guy. It means you have a penis and you produce, and if your balls produce sperm, they produce sperm. But there's nothing more to it than that. And all the constructions you build on that are built on shaky foundations. We shouldn't say invented to not trigger the religious people. Oh, I'm sorry. Human beings have been on the earth for at least 250,000 years, and Judaism is around 5,000 years old. So for the first 245,000 years, humans, at least, were on earth. They didn't know about Judaism, but God decided after countless generations, they was finally going to reveal the truth. I'm sorry. Good point.
This only matters because today we segregate nearly all sports by gender. Otherwise, why do you even give a shit? What someone identifies with. So we live in a free country, and with consenting adults and people's free expression of who and what they are.
Man, on adult level, I agree with you. I think it does matter what you teach your children.
Saying. And so there's the matrix of what you are biologically, how you express yourself, who you choose as a sexual partner. If we actually live in a free country, as we tell ourselves, people's freedom to behave in any of those ways should not concern you at all. Nor are they requiring that you behave that way. Okay, this is for their own freedoms because we live in a free country.
Look, I love that he uses the rhetoric that's typically championed by conservatives.
I think that is a very effective libertarian argument, but the right doesn't believe in any of that shit. Wrong, Mike. P is stored in the balls. Okay, good point. You got me. You had a Catholic pastor who actually had a hand in developing the theory of everything. Religion plays a part in science beyond what conservatives want to believe. Same can be said with religion and scientists in the past. First of all, I'm very aware of who invented the theory of the Big Bang Theory. And if you're talking about the Jesuit priest who came up with the theory of the Big Bang, he proved it with science and math and observation. And when the Pope said, this is amazing, we're going to make this the official doctrine of the Catholic Church, this proves that the universe had a beginning, he said to the Pope, please don't. Please don't do that. He said, let my science stand on its own. The right's foundation of their politics is the imposition of religious beliefs in our government and racism. That's basically the core of their souls. I would call it more accurately a hierarchical system. It's a hierarchical system. Nubalator, thanks for the tier 3.
9 months tier 3 baby.
Why are so many short white guys always so angry about trans people? Because that's the reason why trans are the issue is because the culture war has advanced. The lines have advanced. It's sort of like, imagine all of us. We're General Zukov. We're the Red Army, okay? And Ben Shapiro, he's the Nazi army. He's the Wehrmacht. And we're driving them across the steppes and into Poland and we're into Germany, right? And we're just rolling over them in the culture war. Warsaw was gay marriage. That was years ago. We're rolling up on Berlin. Shapiro is in the bunker. And the last thing they're grasping on is trans people, because trans people are a small percentage of the population. Not a lot of people are well educated about gender theory. So it's a way to attack a vulnerable group, and then they get to make what about the children? You're going to turn your children into freaks. And they get to make up all these arguments. Or women will never be allowed to compete at sports. I'm old, chat. I remember a time when the conservatives were arguing there shouldn't be women's sports. They were bitching and complaining about Title IX funding women's sports, taking money away from sports that men want to do, and forcing girls to masculinize and compete. I can't believe they're putting my little girl into a football team. I can't believe they're making my girls get all muscular. I can't believe they're making them compete. That was feminist. That was radical feminism. Now it's, oh, I really care about the WNBA. I remember when the typical conservative mocked the WNBA. Now suddenly, oh, we care about women's sports. Okay, dude. You're just getting, like the Wehrmacht, you're getting driven before us in the culture war. You're getting defeated, and you're throwing up another Siegfried line. You're throwing up another bunch of bunkers. You're throwing another bunch of bullshit to try to prevent us from rolling towards progress. Well, we're coming for you. Okay? We're not going to stop. There's more of us than there are of you. And we just so happen to have truth and justice on our side. You fucking little weasel. You weaselly little liar. Still lying to their audience. It's because, without domination, they can't feel big. Yeah, that's what it is. So we're kicking their ass, and that's why they're bitching about this. And one of the things I want to remind you is there's no evidence of this. Trans people are not dominating. Literally, until this Olympics, there wasn't even one single Olympic athlete that was trans. Not one. There's never been a trans athlete who won a medal for the gender they identified with. It's just not a thing. Not a fucking thing. They just made it up. There's no national champions from the NCAA who are trans. So professional sports, Olympic level, college level, at the elite level, there isn't. It's bullshit. Pretty sure it's fake, but it's still hilarious. She must have been a fat because she didn't care about my feelings. Fuck, dude. Fuck, dude. This is how pale I look right now after COVID-19, dude. I identify with how pale this guy is. We do politics here every morning starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can watch us here on Twitch. We're the morning guy. The morning politics guy. Politics Frogs in every single day. Same time, 10 a.m. Day in, day out. And we carry you through your morning and early afternoon politics needs. And if you need more, Mike from PA, we have a YouTube channel. We talked about suburbs, the My Pillow guy, Ted Cruz. We talked about DSA. Amazing. Making fun of Tim Pool. Amazing. Look at all of these amazing videos. Get in there, watch them. We have me on Twitter. You got to follow me on Twitter, chat. I'm at 20,614 subs. That means I got like 40 followers on Twitter in the last day. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Go follow us on Twitter. And of course, join the Discord, where we have an incredible community of left-wing streamers. We have left-wing community. We talk about the stream. We talk about politics. There's gaming content. It's a really awesome, supportive place. Direct action, mutual aid, and you can just let off some steam. And also, you can help produce the show. One of the things I do is I look at the links that are put into the news content suggestions chat room on the Discord. Join the Discord, come hang out, and maybe what you want me to talk about will be part of the next show.